Welcome to the Northern Fields Unit Introduction to Windows video. Have you ever had any problems using computers? For many years, computers large and small have appeared unfriendly to the average user. This is because we have had to communicate with them using their language. But now with the introduction of Windows, it is possible to do very powerful things simply and easily by pointing and clicking. This video is aimed at introducing enough of the features of Windows to enable you to do your job. Before we go any further, we need to introduce some of the fundamentals. Windows is a type of graphical user interface, which means pictures represent objects, and the method of selecting these objects is by using a mouse. A mouse is a device connected to the computer and looks like this. It can have 1, 2, or even 3 buttons, but to use Windows you only need the left-hand button. A single click is used to select an object, and a double click to run an object. Notice how the two clicks follow one another rapidly. The mouse is used by sliding it in any direction on top of your desk. By moving the mouse, you will see that the Windows pointing arrow moves accordingly. Notice how the single click selects a menu. Selecting the background deselects the menu. A double click may be used to run an object, such as the Windows clock. Now that you know how to point and select objects, let's move on to some of the other common Windows facilities. All things done in a Windows environment use a window as a basis for working, and all windows work in the same way. Here is a typical window. You can iconize the window by clicking on the down arrow in the top right-hand corner of the window. The window is closed down to an icon. This means that it is still active but not currently being used.
What's an icon?
An icon is a means of representing something through the use of a simple picture. For example, a platform may be represented by an icon such as this. In Windows, an icon is used to represent an object. To deactivate the window, you simply point at the icon and double-click with the mouse. By pressing the up arrow in the top right-hand corner of the screen, you can also make the window expand to fit the whole screen. By double-clicking the top left-hand corner of any window, you can close it, but this time it finishes your use of the window. The other main feature of a window is that it is just that, a window on a larger object. So if you cannot see everything in the window, use the scroll bars at the side to move around. You can see the scroll bars at the right-hand side and bottom of the window, although they will only appear when you can't see everything through the window. Since a window is a view on a larger object, it may also be sized, and this is done by pointing the mouse to the side of the existing window, where the pointer arrow will change into a two-directional pointer, holding down the left-hand mouse button and moving the mouse.
What are these words at the top of the window?
These are pull-down menus. Let's go up and have a look. If you click on the word, a menu will appear. This displays all the options from which you may choose. To make a choice, simply move the pointer to the required option and single-click the mouse. To remove the menu without making a choice, just click on the window background and the menu will disappear. All menus work in exactly the same way. The menus available with each window are dependent on the situation, and so we won't go into the details of each at the moment.
Oh, it's like a menu in a restaurant, except that you don't have to pay. So what are we going to do now?
Now that you know the basic features of Windows, I think we ought to go on and explain some of the important facilities that come with Windows. We will now cover the Program Manager, which is a program through which all other programs are selected and run, the File Manager, This allows you to move, copy and delete files. Selection of a printer to enable printing from any of the Windows programs. First, the Program Manager, which is a particularly important window. It is a special window containing a special type of icon. Let's open up one of these icons. You will see that it appears the same as any other window. This is referred to as a group, and each represents a different program. Let's open up another one.
I can't see now.
We'll move it out of the way then. You can pick it up and move it around by clicking on the window banner and keeping your finger pressed down while moving the mouse. To bring any window to the front, simply click on that window. Once you have finished with it, double-click on the top left-hand corner of the window and it will return to being an icon. You can then move the icon around the screen as you want. Let's move on now to the File Manager, but we'll return to the Program Manager later. To get to the File Manager, double-click on the main group icon. Now you can see the File Manager icon. It is shown as a filing cabinet because it represents a method of organizing your computer files. Double-click on the File Manager icon to open it. You'll see that the computer storage space is represented by a tree structure with a list of folders off the root. Each of these represents a different drawer into which files can be put, and the File Manager allows you to add or remove drawers as you wish. You can also move files from one drawer to another, and indeed from one filing cabinet to another, simply by clicking and dropping the appropriate file. A single click on one of the folders displays the contents on the right of the screen.
Okay, I'll practice that later myself. Now earlier you mentioned a selection of a printer.
Right, printing. Let's close the File Manager. As you will remember, this is done by double-clicking on the top left-hand corner of the File Manager window. Double-click on the Control Panel icon and then double-click on the Printers icon in the Control Panel window. You can now see a list of the installed printers. Generally, there will be one name on this list. Select it with a single click. Then using the mouse, single-click on the Set Default Printer button. But remember, if you can't decide which printer to use or are having problems, contact your local information and computing unit. Finally, select the Close button. You can now close the control panel by double-clicking on the